How do we know whether Christianity is true? The author and journalist Louise Perry has recently revealed that she has become a Christian.
And I have, since writing the book, become a Christian.
And I was really struck by the reason that she gave as to why she was now convinced that Christianity was true.
One of the reasons that I ended up becoming Christian, because I realised that if it were supernaturally true, you would expect it to be sociologically true. And observing quite how sociologically true it is was very persuasive to me, and I know has been to others as well.
I find that really fascinating because it reveals that there are two ways that we can discover that the Christian faith is true. One is to look at the historical evidence for the supernatural claims of the Christian faith, things like the resurrection of Jesus, and for some people that would be a great place to start. But for other people, like Louise Perry, the starting point may be discovering that Christianity is sociologically true. In other words, it makes best sense of the way that we live our lives. It leads to human flourishing. And that's the journey that Louise Perry herself has been on. She wrote a fantastic book called The Case Against the Sexual Revolution. In it, she basically reveals that the sexual revolution, far from liberating and freeing us to enjoy life more fully, has had the opposite effect. In fact, she's come to discover that we need a new sexual revolution, the one that was taught by Jesus 2,000 years ago. And it's because the Christian faith makes best sense of gender and sexuality and leads to the best kinds of human flourishing that she's come to discover that it might also be supernaturally true as well. That's why I wrote a book called Making Sense of Life, because I've come to discover that the Christian faith is not only supernaturally true, but it does make best sense of the things that really matter most in life.